Hello and welcome. We're picking up where we left off last time in Victoria 3. Technically, as we're starting this game, a new patch has dropped, which is 1.12.2. I rolled this game back to the version it was started on, so we shouldn't have any problems there. But just if you're watching this when it goes live on YouTube, that is the case as far as this part is. So the next run will probably be on the next patch. But we got 30 years here. We'll probably finish up the stream. And then if we do another stream of this, or another game of Victoria 3, it'll be on the next patch, which may be India, maybe somewhere else. We'll see. Yeah, we got wage subsidies coming up. We're definitely going to let that continue to play out. And we've got only 6 infamy right now, so there's maybe an argument to continue expanding. We definitely need more... Let's say we need more people. We need more people in places where we need them. Which is a different problem. The other thing I probably want is, obviously, to continue the GDP growth, we need more resources and more demand. So, could do with more rubber. The places I'm thinking of expanding into actually aren't going to give me rubber. I'm surprised we don't have oil, although the oil probably has more to do with places hiring up. Right, we don't have enough in Texas, for example. Okay. So Texas is a good example of a place I should put... You know, if it was my opinion, it's a little better. Probably should have done it a long time ago. Put a greener grass campaign in Texas. Get Texas growing population-wise, so the oil field works. And then radios, so we could use radios. Pretty much wherever. Oh, and I probably should do some stuff to bring the hardwood price down. Wood's reasonably low, so it's not hardwood. Sending people to hardwood, that's the problem. Yeah, making sure we're up on the most recent PMs. I'm gonna have to do a pass to make sure we got enough electricity. And then we might get up to a little bit of warfare. Okay, and we worked out when I needed more hardwood. 40% hardwood malice. So it's about 4,000 more hardwood we need. Okay. Same time, I do need to make that electricity. Gonna do the next, come down here and see where we're short. A lot of places are not very short, just a little short. Okay. Let a couple weeks pass, and then I probably will pick a target to attack. We've taken over most of... Oh, we're actually in the middle of a war. I should let the war play out first. Yeah, so we're at war with Spain, which involves Spain and Portugal and such, I think. What's the other one that's Portugal? Puerto Rico, Cuba. So that's the Spanish one. And yeah, that involves Portugal. And then we do have the one up against the Succession here. All of which I think we're basically slated to win if we're patient enough. Deal with or discord with the Petit Bourgeoisie. Let's take the weaker bonus, but get the bonus towards trade unions. We've got a humanist in charge of the trade unions, so if we can keep the trade unions reasonably powerful, we can swing for multiculturalism as soon as this law is passed. So one down there, deploy due to that front. Anyway, in theory, we should be just straight up winning against the liberate Korea and Lucia. Okay. I might need to deploy more troops up to Spain proper. Help out the British there. And then... Okay, so they can't go loser until we actually occupy them, although they'll probably collapse very rapidly the moment we occupy them. These guys are militant enough, they're going to go up to 100%, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Although maybe wage subsidies will help there, if wage subsidies completes quick enough. Okay, if that makes sense. So where these guys are struggling. Aggressive support for law. Socialist gain attraction. Sure. Analytical philosophy. So that's a more research rate, more innovation, and international exchange completed. Okay. Let's deal with the university bit first. And the other one, I don't think the other one affects what we were doing per se. Yeah, because it's just minting an interest rate. Actually, I'm surprised those both side to side. One of them must have been spreading to us, and we were researching the other one. And then I guess the overflow very rapidly completed one. Okay, so on macro makes sense as a next one because that's more mappy, and a number of companies. There we go. Session defeated. Automatic bottle boilers. Probably does make sense to do if we've got the oil. Although that might be an interesting problem because we just worked out earlier we didn't have the oil. Yeah, we got an oil shortage. Again, probably due to there not being enough people in Texas. Places like Texas. Okay, we're getting people to move there, but there's still a shortage. Advanced to voting, so we got 54% chance on the next cycle wage subsidies completes here. Anyway, I'm not really engaging much. Basically allowing good old laissez-faire capitalism to carry the way on the construction sectors here. If anything, I need more construction sectors. Let's build some more of those. Give it a couple cycles and probably build up a few more construction sectors. Rinse and repeat. Anyway, we're definitely, in our own way, we're winning this war. Again, conquer Alta Lucia, and liberate Korea. In practice, I think Sim Korea is a Spanish subject. And they are. The solution to that is probably occupy the Spanish capital. So it's push inland, occupy the capital. Is in default. So it looks like these guys are about to revolt, so we're still gonna have to put them down. And stonks, okay. I've done that. So there are the achievements in Victoria 3 Fire, regardless of whether you've received them before. So I've had stonks so many times. Wage subsidies. And yeah, did have that revolt happening. And we finished our law pass. And to be fair, the area revolting doesn't even affect the GDP because of how big it is. Or, well, a better way to say it, how small it is. It's so small that we're just not worried about it. We're going to have 100% welfare. Basically do that. And laws. I do really want to try multiculturalism. I'll have to try getting people off the stall fence, probably. What are the other laws that multiculturalism supports that or humanitarian supports? Got liberty, got protected speech, got women's suffrage, compulsory. Okay, so yeah, just multiculturalism. Well, we've got humanitarian here. Southern planters will negotiate. You'll go with the good old-fashioned bribery result. I'm gonna agree to the light industries. I think the light industries are plausible. Food industries, textile mills, furniture manufacturers, yeah. Oh, and I can negotiate with human farmers as well. Not, or give them lots of money. Give them my option. build those quickly. That'll give us some more construction, which will allow the private sector to build a little bit faster. Rinse and repeat. As far as the war is concerned, I think there really isn't much I can do to win the war. Well, I suppose I could try to do a naval landing. Yeah, that's not a lot. At least from Milan, throwing the three main armies around that I can do. Although I could recruit more army. That's an option. Lucky breakthrough on multiculturalism, getting us up into the study. I need to build a troop to do that. That's probably the best one. Let's put it back so the allies on our side can hold long enough. Mexico unredacted. Generous donations. Buy or else. Sure. We get one more breakthrough in multiculturalism, we'll have multiculturalism, which is real good. Lower a lot more of the penalties for taking over places like China, which we could definitely do if we were not mid-war here. We're a bit involved in the current war, I suppose. Sea lane strategy, so that's upgrades to boats. Yeah, that costs oil. Okay. So some of these PMs aren't lighting up because we did put one of the revolts down, so the revolt was on different PMs. Actually, think about oil. What is the biggest domestic oil supplier? Or oil level? It's not full. Oklahoma. So we will greener grass campaign Oklahoma. Get more people moving there, much like we're trying to get more people to move to Texas to fill in the oil well there. Which is slowly happening. Nope. Twitch chat, left a comment. Hey, well, hope you are well watching your Panzer Corps 2 VOD. Interesting game. Have you decided on yet whether or not you're going to continue or restart? I haven't really decided whether I'm going to continue or restart. I'm a little tempted to restart. Although, I suppose in a way, even if it is a restart, it'll be swapping over to Poland North. Twitch chat saying, the other Twitch chat person saying, finish it, dominate, finality. Uh, so that is an option. Treaty has been championed with a passion multiculturalism starting their own ranks. Dakota politician may take up leadership for the fight. I think this is an area where we want to say the older leadership. Don't mind having a character. We just don't want them necessarily to become the leader. Yeah, I think that makes them an agitator. Which in this case is an agitator for sovereignist. Okay, at least it would have supported multiculturalism, which would have been fine. Local police. Thus support migration controls, however. Okay. Lots of people trying to revolt. What do you want? England, can you not start more wars while we're in the middle of other wars? Do I have monarchy? No, as America here, we are a democracy. We're a humanitarian. We have a humanitarian as the president in the sort of game default start America and democracy. President's republic, centrist suffrage. Trying to get multiculturalism here with the humanitarians. Okay, hopefully we'll be able to get them to surrender so we can get the troops out of there over to the French front. What's our fleet up to? Gosport. You're in the English Channel. Raiding the... I suppose I still got them in position from last time I was raiding the French. Okay, that works for me. Port in a Sea of Anger. Yeah, I'd rather piss the officers off than the servicemen. %37% chance of success. Okay, about to get them to surrender. Are they willing to just surrender at this point? Yes. Propose the peace. And we're going to deploy you to that French border. I had an army down here. Where did the army go? Upper Andalusia, South Cameroon, traveling the Congo. Oh, no, that was the one I had up there. That's fair. We got you mobilized in Dixie. Let's bring you over. Union's campaign, or socialist, or amendment towards socialism, or less momentum, make the trade union members loyalist, and have greater faction attraction. We'll go with that one. Rising of women. Now we have multiculturalism, so support separatism strength minus 50%, support separatism resistance plus 50%, primary culture fervor minus 10%, assimilation down, and then a bunch more acceptance for all cultures. A little bit worried about that deficit rate. Well, let's go back up to normal taxes, which will stem it a little bit while we're waiting for the good old corruption to wear off. Waiting for missing funds to wear off, and administrative construction and all that stuff. Okay. Corruption and war, that's what's going on at the moment. Okay. Meantime, I could do with more construction. Start by unemployment. You have the highest. Okay. That's there. There. And there. There. We'll put 10 there and 5 there. And then obviously we just put down one of our revolters, so all the PMs are broken in the revolting places. Okay, that should fix it. Should fix it. Whether it does or not is a different question. Okay, most of the construction... Those new construction sectors completed real quick. Hopefully that'll increase the rate that the public construction responds. Rest of the issues. Want the socialists to win? And yeah, they're often a good chance to win. They're 50% of projected vote. Good to see. Macroeconomics, so I can pick another corporation. We've got best the map he's gonna get. We've got GE and Ford. What do I want? Migration taxation from the oil syndicate's a little tempting. Less worried about railway throughput. A little tempting, although it might be a little hard to get the prestige bonus on that. It might be a little bit tempting for the birth rate. To go food. Food factory. You know, let's actually go for the food factory. We'll see if we can get the prestige good on that. And then, do I have one more charter? I do. We'll have you own wheat farms. Yeah, thanks. Once the... So I've used up all the charters. Good. And I still have quite a few laws queued up. We got modern financial instruments, government dividends, efficiency, loan interest rate, and minting. Okay. paved roads are going to give us more infrastructure everywhere. Lost healthcare tech. Mass propaganda. And then I'm off to... Oh, and mass surveillance, okay. And then probably not bothering with behavioralism, because it's really... Unless you're going to do a lot of conquest. Infamy being a number. Unimportant number sort of conquest, it's not super strong. And probably come back and finish off the production afterwards. As conveyor belts. If we had oil, that would be good. And eventually we may have oil. Okay, so the French already at the state where they can lose the war. So we'll defeat the French, and then we'll probably pull the rest of the forces up to quickly bash in the Spanish at that point, hopefully. Okay, let's give some more construction. Places where we've got unemployed. And then we'll sort by peasants and basically do the same. Trade unions here. Now we're at the point where the election has elected, so I could decide to reform the government. So we can keep the trade unions by themselves, we can bring the trade unions, yeoman farmers, and the armed forces in. Which, if I wanted to move on to universal suffrage, is probably what we want to do. Yeah, we'll do that one. Because then I can try to move our census suffrage onto universal. There's some opposition. Mostly from the industrialists and the petit bourgeoisie. Okay. So the petit bourgeoisie would be the ones best to negotiate with, and of course they're the ones unwilling to negotiate on the issue. So probably not gonna bother negotiating. We're gonna just see how it goes. Use negotiating. Clout approval. Bringing bonuses from base value and legitimacy. Oppose it. Time modifier. Oh, because they've still got the ongoing active one. Okay, so they don't want to negotiate where they still can get burned on the last deal. Fair enough. Because this is petit bourgeoisie here. Yeah. Good, not foreign. Send you up to go help that. that line. Oh, now at the point where if I want the industry to keep working at the speed, I need to contribute. What light industries do I want to work on? Food is tempting, textiles are tempting. We'll see what we need. Textiles. 10,000 shortage on textiles. So 10, 100 levels of textiles. That will help a little bit with that. Based on where we have peasants, or actually, do you want to go unemployed? The sorting mechanism here. Yeah, let's do unemployed. At least for 4 of these. Power. Yeah, there still is a possibility to get universal suffrage passed anyway. And in a way, it might be better to pass it without negotiation. People who would rather us to have cultural exclusion, we're going to put down the revolt if they do in fact revolt. And it's standard of living compared to the rest of the country and radical supporters, so just defeating them will destroy the radical supporters component. Almost beat in Spanish. When you have a hammer. Every problem looks like a nail. But yeah, definitely getting to the point where shortage of peasants and unemployed is the big issue to populate or to economic growth. We're up to 1.9 billion GDP with 200 million people, so it's pretty good. How goes the getting people to move to Texas to operate the oil well? Okay, we're having qualification issues, not necessarily supply peasant issues. Although there's definitely plenty of space in Texas for more peasants, so that's not a concern too much. Not gonna be much longer, and we should occupy the Spanish capital. And then Spain will surrender. And then the French can surrender at any point, they just need to actually get negative, probably. It's just time with the French at this point. Oh, and I've got more stuff to build than the private queue. More capacity to build than the private queue is using. Okay. What do we want? We're working on that right now, so that probably makes sense not to build. You're actually importing 5.2 thousand food, so it would make sense to make more food. Let's do about 30 food industries. It's on unemployment. Okay. And then I doubt we have domestic supply of fish that we haven't developed. Oh, I'm wrong. Texas. Build the Texas fisheries. You know, just build all the fisheries. Then I won't be wrong next time when I say we don't have any more fish. And then rubber if we've got it. Just contour, okay. In the place that revolted. Well, revolted vaguely recently. So expecting the French to surrender soonish. Oil, iron. So as we... Oh, the other thing I could do is... Who do I have agreements? Investment agreements with? Probably the British, yeah. What about the North Germans? Investment rate for... Well, they don't even want to give us investment rates. Let me guess the North Germans just don't like me. They're antagonistic, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Russians probably don't want to. No, the Russians actually aren't that far around from wanting it. They just don't want mine. Because they're isolationist. Okay. Could potentially bribe them into giving me investment rates. Although, negative 160 I think is just outside of realistic reach. You're a minor power. Get some purchasing power there. Pakistan. Yep. On Empire. Yep. Vietnam is the British. Oops, Egypt independent. Yeah, looks like the Egypt is independent, but they're antagonistic, so it's not a go there. Interests are declared. Revenue zone. Already got it with Peru. Trying to get places that I can get my public sector to be investing in. If they don't think there's good places to build in country, so they can own stuff out of country. so now we're just waiting for a productive sector to have the demand to want to build stuff elsewhere. Which appears to not be the case. So we may be at the point where I actually do need to downsize. It's going to prestige, infrastructure, loyalists. Doesn't employ very many, which actually kind of works out for that level of infrastructure. Okay. Let's, so we're based on job seekers. Middle out. We're just going to build power block structure everywhere. Just use it for construction for the moment. Also for the prestige bonus, so 3% or 3 flat prestige, 10% more infrastructure, and more loyalists, which should all be good. And then we wait for our wars to end, so we can start more wars without being tied up someplace else. If you want peace, prepare for war. Standard oil. We got another revolt to deal with. Do I have 3 armies I can pull off to deal with that? Probably pull the army observation, which is involved Spanish campaign for that. Former general has died. Grab a feminist. Meantime, still got pretty good demand for clothing. Could happily do like 100 levels of clothing making. Okay. And then development, railways. We have a shortage of infrastructure. Then sort my power to deal with the power problems. There's power problems. If there's power problems. There really aren't. Put 2 there, put 2 there, put 1 there, go like that. Time pass, let the construction build. I think that's the French, or the Spanish capital. Although sometimes it's hard to tell where the capitals are for nations. Yeah, it's probably there. So, if they occupy that state, the Spanish war should end quickly. But yeah, as far as the Panzer Corps 2, I suppose this is spoilers if you're watching this on YouTube. The game that will be going up on YouTube tomorrow is Panzer Corps 2. Because we finished up the Strategic Command game. Probably going to go ahead and probably restart it. Well, I say restart it. We're going to probably do a run where we're doing Poland North instead of Poland South. Which doesn't really change very much. Just because the very first night I was playing real bad. Like, I was getting a little bit more of the hang of it. So it's not the end of the world if we were to try to continue that, but I think it would definitely... First of all, it shows both sides in the Poland campaign. And maybe get to say we got a little bit more income going into Norway. Although what I could do is I could just do... Every time we got a split, I could do both sides as well. That wouldn't be too hard. Yeah, we have all the conflicts going on. Although the French one just ended, so that freed up more troops to send elsewhere. We got enough there. Not the Panama front, apparently. And then we'll send you to go help up in Spain to get the Spanish one over burger. I was thinking make us actually go to Korea to liberate Korea. No. We just finished occupying the Spanish capital. Okay. So this war should end soon. And with that, I can probably go conquer another hunk of China for more population. We're up to standard living of 21 just because... well, actually, no, I've started to run welfare. That makes sense. I've got the welfare institution going. So that's probably where the standard living jump's coming from. Maybe a little bit where the GDP jump's coming from as well. Because it's probably improving the quality of life for all of the million unemployed. Although, that's one... it's only like 2% unemployment. By modern American standards, that's not bad unemployment. There we go. That war is over. Tell you to reposition yourself in Beijing. And I suppose with the standard of living, I could probably get away with high taxes. Let's put on high taxes. You know, even that's not enough to get the revenue balance positive again. Oh dear. Here's universal suffrage. I wonder, did that remove the political concessions on... No. We still have the tradition of free elections. Although that requires someone that supports autocracy, technocracy, or single-party state to get rid of. Okay. This is forbidding our electoral manipulation, which is probably why I don't know how to mess with electoral manipulation, because I haven't played any game that is in America yet. And then we have the Second Amendment of the Constitution here, which has been changed in the most recent patch. So this is the old version, because we're still in 1.12.1. And this one appears just not to be removable. Okay. Right, we'll start moving some of these. We do UOZ. Okay, so is it that easy to repeal them if you don't want them? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, apparently I need more government admin. Probably because I pissed off Jeep bourgeoisie. Yeah. Possibly. Although, we'll appreciate the taxation capacity anyway, so... As states grow, we need more taxation capacity in those states. And America is a growing country. Century to the new century, away from the old. I have a bunch of loyalists. Not there yet? One I sent over there is not there yet, at least. That's the 5th. 60 days out, okay. Put some more government admin in Washington, D.C. Well, that's probably not enough to deal with the bureaucracy change there. Probably need to put a little bit more. Sector doctor from the University of Alaska has been conducting newfangled investigations in the camp of psychiatry. Okay. So I think this is this Freud? No, this is Clarence Abbott. Okay. Nihilist. Okay. Okay, so the whole thing is going to rejig on the next election, probably. Might even be worth just doing a reform now, taking a political hit. We got universal suffrage. We're unelected. We started elected, so unless we want to corporatist, this is. I don't think there's anything really change here. Or if I want to do Council Republic. I presume there's some opposition to Council Republic. Yeah. The most powerful party's in favor, right? But everyone else is not. Almost violently so. Here. I think it is going to be worth reform just the trade union. This will get us more loyalist over time. Yankees become obsessed with fine art. Okay. Increase the demand for more art. And suddenly we have demand for art. Okay. I don't think art is... Yeah, art is in light industry. So 10 tens is 100, 100 tens is 1,000. Need like 160, or yeah, 160. Unemployment. 10 art academies there, 10 art academies there. It's Missouri. We'll like 4. There we go. And then we'll sort by peasants and sort peasant-wise. 50 down. Do 50 in Texas. 50 in Oklahoma, and 10 in New York. And then Has the 5th arrived? The 5th has arrived. Okay. So what is our diplomatic relations with the Shaanxi clique? They are cooperative but neutral. So we can annex the entire country for 14.1 infamy. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to annex them. It's predicted that everyone will basically stay neutral in this affair, as we just expand the American holdings in China. Use a little bit more government bureaucracy, apparently. Yeah, at this point, the District of Columbia is probably mostly government administration. Oh no, it's got other buildings. Although I wouldn't be surprised if most of the people that live there are the government. Bureaucrats make up a quarter of the people. Clerks make up another quarter of the people. Yeah, that sounds like government bureaucracy. What is the workforce here? Yep, bureaucrats and clerks. See how, yeah. Yeah, I suspect we're going to complete this commitment to economic initiative here. And we are working towards gourmet groceries, which will give us prestige food. And my demand for oil is so high that even though we have places like Texas and California, we're still importing oil. Although I haven't checked. Oh, yeah, the oil rigs are actually full in Texas. And then we got 500,000 peasants there, so it's probably time to move that someplace else. Keep people move to a different oil well. Basically full there. There's 500,000 peasants in Oklahoma as well. What's California looking like? As far as oil, it's full in oil. Could probably do with more peasants in California. Decree, greener gas land, those two. One to California. And then let's check where our oil is. Our unemployed oil is... Wait, the Oklahoma one isn't full, but... Oh, wait. So there's capacity to build more engines, okay. Oklahoma has peasants, it's just not hiring up is what's going on, okay. Qualifications, what's going on there, okay. What I can do, and what we're going to try to do, is instead of getting more people to move there, because we've got 500,000 peasants, encourage the peasants to try to get an education. Dancing on wheels. Obviously conquered someone, didn't update the PMs. Someplace that makes coffee. A couple African places, probably. Okay, and then construct, or what do we want to build? So it's a lot more from wood to hardwood, okay. Light industry-wise, could probably get away with more clothing. Okay. No severe demand for electricity, that's good to see. And we've got a war going on that should be fairly easy to win. Yeah, there's already signs we're winning it. Need more in the queue, apparently. Construction-wise. Oh, let's keep some food factories. And then let's do some more of the wood swapping to hardwood. Okay, could do a little more of that. Oh, could do even more than that. Probably get good returns. Okay. So part of the hardwood swap is hardwood is a better PM. The focus on hardwood is the better PM. So as long as you're not driving the hardwood price below that of the wood price, it's better to swap hard to it when you do the swap. I suppose we should get the ships back in port and upgrading. Yeah, because we get all the scout cruisers up, or get them all upgraded to scout cruisers will be pretty useful. They're all on like monitors or something right now. Torpedo boats. So I push that button and that button. Economic initiative commitment complete. Good. It actually improves the efficiency, I think, of the private queue. Either that or it's on a different speed. Different modifier. Don't think it's a different modifier. What is around? I still got the missing funds kicking around. Those at least diminish over time. Oh, there they are. Private contract. Okay, so that's still going to hang around for 12 more months, although 12 more months isn't that much longer. Then we'll have our construction sector throughput back. Working down the debt. I'm less interested in working down the debt when we're in the green. Although, we're working down the debt because we've got untapped construction potential. Maybe the question is, do I actually want to bother tapping it right now? Or do I just want to let the private queue handle it? Let's queue up the art at least. 500 art kicking around for demand. So it's 50 art academies based in unemployment. Let's do 40-10. Try to bring the New York unemployment down. And looking at the time, this is probably a good place to put a part break in for YouTube. We're only up to 1911. We are going to try to finish out the entire run here as USA during this stream, even though it does get a little bit slower as we get closer and closer to the end game here. Because Victoria 3 slows down because of lag reasons. I think as Infamy allows, we're going to be expanding in China for more people, that we can get jobs, get them well-paying jobs so they can demand good old American goods, as well as have U.S. welfare apply to them so that we can get them have more demand. State actions, a couple places that don't have stating. Let's fix that before I forget. But yeah, if you're watching YouTube, I think it's tomorrow's part will be Christmas. This is probably the Christmas Eve part for YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to pick up as soon as I'm done, taking a very short break. We'll take like a 3-minute break here, and then we'll be back to record at least another 3-hour-long parts. I think it's going to take at least 3 more hours. If you're watching on YouTube, there'll be another part up tomorrow, and I think tomorrow is Christmas, as I just said. With that, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time until the next part. And with that, bye for now.